Welcome to CosmicRx Radio, a podcast that gives you real-life tools of spiritual empowerment and pure hype. I'm your host and intuitive guide, Madi Murphy. This week, the sky is going to ask us to choose peace, to prioritize pleasure, and really to mind our own business and stay out of the BS of other people's drama so we can instead focus on the beauty of the moment. And I'm going to tell you how to work with all of that and more on today's episode of CosmicRx Radio. But first, hi, it's your girl, Madi Murphy, your high vibe hype woman, your cosmic consultant, your messy but mystical guide on this wild ride of being a human. How the hell are we? How are we doing today? Welcome. Hello, my radiant cosmic baddies. I just want to start off, as I could start off every podcast, by just saying a huge thank you. I am so grateful for you. I'm having so much fun coming back in this 5th season. To any of you watching me on YouTube at home, hello. If you're not watching me on YouTube, go check it out if you want to see my face. If you want to go see my beverage supply, I've got to have the multi-bevies when I'm doing the podcast. I'm in a new corner of my house and I'm testing out different things, but always keeping it cozy, keeping it 100. And if you're watching on YouTube, drop a comment, say hi. A few of you have checked in there. I always do like the Forrest Gump wave, Captain Dang. And also saying just a big thank you to everyone. Been loving, the support, the welcome back. We missed you. You baddies are so ride or die. Like, you're just so right there. You're like, we missed you. We wanted to give you space in your break, but we are so freaking happy to have you back because what the heck is happening out there? What the heck is happening out there? Just like, truly, I don't understand. Are the muggles okay? Are the muggles okay? Like, I know astrology. I know what's going on. I have a briefcase upon briefcase of tools to deal with all of this spiritually, psychologically, energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically. And I'm still like, oof, it's a lot. So I'm like, quick question. Are the muggles okay? Like, how are you getting through these times right now without astrology? You're just raw dogging life. You're not practicing witchcraft in this economy. Like, what is going on? So anyway, I digress. What was I saying? Thank you for being here. It's wild out there. The energy is just potent, but every day I have something from one of you. Usually it's a lot of things that just make me feel not alone, inspired, connected. You make me laugh my ass off. Some of you make me cry. This past week we checked in on the CosmicRx Instagram of how are you doing post Libra full moon? And so many of you responded, and it was just so validating. It's another reason I love astrology, is that we go through these intense moments, and before I understood really what was happening in the cosmos, I would internalize it. I'd be like, I've messed up, something's intense, or I'm going to be feeling this way forever. Now I love not just the cosmic context of what's going on, but the connection and community that we're all riding these waves together, right? It's just so freaking cool. So speaking of riding these waves together, just big juicy waves of love and appreciation to every single one of you. And especially a few of you have reached out and already bought your pre-order copy of In the Cosmic Zone. You are truly the reason that this book came to life, and I just kept playing Hall & Oates. You making my dreams come true, boop, 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 all week, because I'm like, because of you baddies, I got to write my first book, publish my first book, and it's truly just a love letter and all of the weird and wild stuff I've wanted to tell the whole world for a little while now. And it's available for pre-order wherever books are sold. There's links in the show notes. And of course, it comes out July 29th, my dad's birthday, 6 months from my mom's birthday. But if you buy it ahead of time, we got some goodies. I'm going to hook you up, okay? Drum roll, please. If you get it before then, we're going to have this exclusive, not just one gift, but a cosmic bundle of goodies. I did cosmic coaching audios to go with the first few chapters to really be, again, in your pocket, just hyping you up in your ear, little personal, I don't know, love notes or however you want to look at it, of just mini podcasts, mini cosmic coaching consultant moments. And then 12 of these magical mantra wallpapers for each of the zodiac signs that go on your phone as high manifestation power for every time you pick up your phone. there's a whole lot of other spark and sass coming your way. Yeah, we're talking some live events we're gonna do, maybe a little book club. I don't know. Just stay tuned. So, basically run, don't walk, besties. I am never a shameless plugger, but I really believe in this book. I'm so hyped on it and I really want to get it out in the world. I'm really proud of it. Okay. Let's do a quick check-in before we get into some announcements, planetary planning. Just like, again, I was saying, the energy is wild. I would really encourage you, if you haven't today yet, can we just close our eyes together and take a deep inhale and a deep exhale and just acknowledge we decided to incarnate during one of the absolutely most intense periods of human history. I mean, there's been a lot of intense periods of human history, but never one that was this documented, but we're all in the know so much. And politically, globally, energetically, it's a lot on our nervous system. I don't know if we were ever meant to consume this much information, but we're here, we're doing it. I just want to remind you that your joy, your peace, your softness is a vital tool of the revolution. I would say just as important, but I think I'll say even more importantly than any sort of hypervigilance. We have to speak up. We have to speak out. We have to vote with our dollars. We have to call out injustices as we see them. But we also need to drop into self-care. We have to drop into creativity. We have to drop into rest, and we have to drop into joy as acts of resistance. These are our medicine. This is our medicine, right? And we have to, I think sometimes I know that the news cycle and social media and the algorithm, it's really designed to overwhelm us and to numb us and to disconnect us and to make us feel hopeless and to make us feel just bombarded, okay? And I just want to have an inhale and an exhale right now and let it remind you in your inhale that you're alive and you have so much potentiality and so much possibility ahead of you and so much power in you. As you exhale, to allow some space, right? And to allow some space to really listen to what you need right now. Is it the sacred importance of self-care? Is it community care? They all go hand in hand right now. And, I think that mutual aid and mysticism are going to be two of the things that get us through this chapter and finding ways to nourish our inner world while contributing positively to our outer worlds. So we need you grounded. We need you in your power. We need you well-resourced, and we need you remembering your light. So if there's anything that's been taken away from that within your control, what can you do today to bring a little bit of that light back in? I'm just speaking this to myself as well, right? So this kind of segues into a big announcement. So we have a new thing for season 5 we're doing. It's a new podcast drop starting this week. We're going to have some new cosmic content for your pleasure, at your service. So we all know If Astrology Isn't Real is a segment I do here. And we talk about, right, how does the current astrology, how are we seeing it reflected in the pop culture, in the politics, on the world stage? And it's one of my favorite segments to do. I get so many messages from all of you. I literally have seen people on the street in Manhattan and they're like, if astrology isn't real, then why? And, it's so much fun to talk about everything from huge geopolitical moments to Blake Lively drama to, just understanding how our birth charts may be reflected in sort of these archetypal figures we see in the public, right? So starting this week, we are going to do it as a separate pod, and it's going to come out on Fridays. So that way it can be a weekly Friday recap where we can laugh, cry, we could WTF our way through the revolution, through the astro chaos of the week. And that way I can come with you maybe on your hot girl walk to Pilates on Saturday. Maybe I'm coming with you, hang out with you in a Sunday bed rot session with your Wordle and your takeout. I don't know, but I am just excited to mix it up with this format for a few reasons. One, we started this podcast, it used to come out on Fridays, but then we realized we're Monday, Moon Day, that's the day we want to charge you and resource you for the week so you know what's ahead, right, with your astrology. But I always like doing the If Astrology Isn't Real on Friday because it feels like kind of a look back of what happens on the week ahead. What happened this week, Monday to Friday? Let's check in. And also having it be its own podcast, we can like binge them. A lot of you have asked, like, go back and find certain things I talk about. Like, where was the episode when you talked about, this person's chart or this moment? And so now they'll be available wherever you listen to this podcast, coming out on Friday. Basically, this is my way of saying I can't get enough of you. I'm going to hang out with you more and you can't get rid of me. So anyway, make sure you're subscribed. I'll be right there with you alongside, the path of life. And as always, like, find us on Instagram at the CosmicRx, slide in the DMs, and let us know, if there's something you want to hear about. Now with the dedicated episode, I'm thinking about dividing it and doing like one political moment, one pop culture moment, because sometimes I would sort of not want to take up too much space on this podcast with it, because I try and keep this one digestible, despite the fact that I'm really on one today with the rambling. But like, I really want it to be like something that serves you. So if there's something in the week that you're like, I would love to know the astrology of that more, hit me up. All right, should we segue into the moon report? Who wants to talk about the moon? Okay, so if you're new here, hello. This is your emotional weather forecast. So much of what I talk about is so important of our inner worlds, our outer worlds, but almost like nothing is more important than what is going on with the moon. The moon helps us understand how we can be our most regulated self, how we can really honor our emotions, our inner landscape. And that just helps us navigate the outside world so much better, right? It also helps us understand other people too. Like, why are you being like that today? And then you're like, checks, notes. Okay, we're having a Pisces moon day and you're just in your feels. Got it. So the day this podcast comes out, April 1st, we have an Aquarius moon, and this carries us through the 22nd. Let me just double check my notes here. Yeah, way into early morning, 5:07 a.m. on the 23rd. So we started off the week Monday, Tuesday with an Aquarius moon. So I want you to think about these days, like, can we do something to connect community? I just got an amazing email from my midwifery studio, where I birthed both the boys. They just sent out this great email, like doing more postpartum events and like mom walks. And I'm like, that is so great. And they said that like people are just clamoring for community right now. So my intention during these Aquarius moon days is to sign up for one of those. So I'm going to invite you into that process. I also think Aquarius moon days are a great day to journal through your future vision and somehow like, checking on your vision board. Did you make one this year? Did you make one for Aries season? Do you want to spend just like a little bit of time journaling? Have you ever done one of those practices with ChatGPT? I have not done it yet, but like, tell me, give them some information, tell me my dream life. How do I get there? Like, my God, like it's Carly, one of our cosmic baddies. She is like a whiz with like ChatGPT manifestation work. And also Aquarius moon days are a great day to declutter some sort of digital technological front of yours. So clear out an inbox, clear out some like photos on your phone, clear out some, of your millions of open, I'm looking at myself. I'm literally talking to myself right now. I'm like, clear out some of your millions of open tabs. It's freaky on your laptop. It's too much. That's why you can't think straight. There's too much like technological clutter, and also detached from drama. A big theme for this week is there's a lot of power play energy that you could possibly get tangled in. And I love an Aquarius moon. It's just, as my cousin Kirsten said, not sticky. So can we like use the Aquarius moon energy to like pull back a little bit from something? And we're just going to avoid over isolating. We're going to avoid over analyzing your feelings. Like when your head is just circulating on the same thought over and over and over and over again, and it's like a monkey mind moment. This might be an opportunity to get into the body. Okay, we're also officially into Taurus season. You're gonna hear me saying a lot. Get into your body, adi. Let your brain breathe by getting into your body. Now, April 3rd to the 20th, technically, yes, 7:24 a.m. on the 25th. So Wednesday, Thursday, into the early morning of Friday, we have a Pisces moon. This is where I live all the time. So let me tell you, the water's warm over here, but the water is weird and mystical, and it can be a little soupy. It can be a little foggy, a little soggy. So the things I want you to think about in these days is, can we make time for a little extra rest? Don't overbook ourselves. If you need to like do something to get dreamy, to get into our feels, tune in spiritually, cry it out if needed. I love Pisces moon time for like spiritual play, pulling out some cards, our pendulum, taking a long bath, also putting on like a killer playlist. Pisces and music is like therapy. Like for everyone it is, but there's something about like feeling like I'm okay, and then putting on a playlist that makes you like scream it out, cry it out, hug it out, whatever, turn it out. Very important. And like just we're going to avoid though on the Pisces moon days, we can have a tendency to like ignore our boundaries or kind of like go into that escapism level that's not really healthy for us. So I encourage you to stay present and stay again in your body, but allowing some space for spiritual self-care, allowing some space for some sort of healing or answers or just like softness to pour through. And then we have on April 25th, the early morning of Friday, we have an Aries moon, and this carries us into early morning of Sunday, the 27th. And this Aries moon is leading us into a new moon on Sunday. And Aries moon, let's like get some shit done over the weekend. Just Taurus sun, Aries moon. It's a great time to get something done around your home. If you've been putting that off, it's a great time to just like something you've been procrastinating on, just pull the trigger on it. Release it from like the mental cue. Have some fun. Get a little sweat session. I love that for you. Move your body. High energy workouts, dance breaks, putting on something cute to boots and like getting out there, diva. But also like we are going to maybe scream to a pillow if we need. And we're gonna let something just be released from our body. We're gonna avoid any impulsive texts, honey. Okay. Hot takes that no one asked for or unnecessary conflicts. Because again, there's kind of a spicy backdrop to the astrology this week, and I'm just like, we don't need you entangled in that. So this guides us into Sunday, the new moon in Taurus. Now I'm going to give you the full lowdown on that in planetary planning, but just so you know, that happens at 7:30 p.m. on Sunday evening, a Taurus moon on a Sunday evening. How beautiful, how gorgeous. If you're in the Cosmic RX Plus community, if you are in the Luniverse, I will be returning back to hosting some new moon ceremonies. So we're going to do a live new moon call, and I'm going to walk us through some amazing prompts, manifestation work, and of course, a little like guided meditation and ritual to really make the most of this very fertile new moon. Now, if we're doing it at home, I'm going to get into this now, planetary planning, but we have our notes, right? For our moon notes, write them down. You all are so cute. Some of you will send me pictures of like our email newsletter, like let's go video, and like listening to the podcast. You have like your journal out and you're writing in everything for like your weekly calendar. And I just love that as a ritual for us. I love that as a ritual for us, like really mapping out the week by the moon. Chef's kiss. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water. I also have something in my eye. Okay, let's talk about it. Planetary planning. What's going on? Like the high level headlines this week, as above, so below, as within, as without. And I always like to remind us the planets do not control us. The planets do not have a grip on us. They're here to guide us. And there's just things happening in the planets that are like mirrored down here on Earth. So by understanding them, it's like we have a cheat code, or we get to have our own personal translation of this planetary poetry so we can understand like, oh, that's what's happening down here on Earth, right? And this comes from studying cycles and patterns and transits. People have been studying this that are way smarter than I for thousands of years. Okay, just as a little quick aside, I've just been meditating on this a lot of like lately. Like I had a call with my publishing team and we were talking about like believing in astrology, and I just had this funny aha of like, I don't believe in astrology. I don't, like, because astrology is a tool to me. It's not something I believe in. Like there's a lot of things I believe in that are a little bit more esoteric or hard to like pin down, that I feel from within. Whereas astrology to me, I'm like, I just have the receipts after working with this for years. It is a tool. I have seen my clients' lives, my family's lives, my life change infinitely for the better. With this tool, right? Like I don't believe in Pilates, or I don't believe in like drinking water. It's just these are things like when I do them and drop into them, I feel much better. And like, I'm not the first one. So anyway, I'm digressing so much today, but I'm just hyper. The planets are direct, honey. The planets are direct. So also my divas and besties, that's another, as we go into planetary planning, mark your calendars from right now until May 4th, all planets are direct. This only happens once a year where we get this little window. in the springtime usually, and it's a little longer usually. This year it got a little cramped upon by like the Venus and Mars retrograde, but there's only one time a year where everything is direct. It lasts but a moment, but you can really make some great headway, or as my sister Jackie says, hedgeway, and get ahead of some things and get some great mystical momentum going. So that's the first off the bat. Write that down. All planets direct until May 4th. Now we have also, we're officially, the sun is in the Taurus sign. The sun is in the Taurus zodiac sign. And first of all, happy birthday to my bodacious babes. Happy natal solar return season to my bodacious bulls. And this lasts till May 20th. And this is like after 4 weeks of that Aries fire starter energy. It's time to ground down. Like we like gained a lot of forward motion, but not really maybe so much this year. But we definitely learned a lot of things this Aries season for sure. And I think even if it came late, it was better late than never. We all got some sort of like pew, like some kind of catapult forward, some sort of catalyst. And now it's time to like ground here, to stabilize, to maybe build off of the ideas, the fire that was ignited during Aries season. And it's a great time to turn inspired ideas into solid plans. But Taurus loves pleasure. So I want you to schedule in the joy. I want you to spend time in nature. I want you to, surround yourself with like things that feel luscious to you and luxurious. I'm going to be getting some new plants for my apartment. I am going to be thrifting and upcycling like a queen because I want to get some new things for my house, but I want to buy it all like secondhand and find things that bring me joy. I'm going to be booking another facial for myself. Like, right, it's like things that make you feel really in your body like a goddess and really proud and excited to be in this realm, right? We are in the 5D realm, and there's certain pleasures of being a human that we get to enjoy. So let's see, like, how can I enjoy the rich juiciness of being alive on this planet right now? And the simpler the better, honey. Like, I'm talking sunshine on the face. I'm talking sitting next to a Babylonian brook. I'm talking biting into a Boston cream donut, okay? So we're calling in stability and sensuality. Like I love really taking the season RX and dropping into it. I started this in maybe 2017, really working season by season, and it just helps you live with so much more intention, so much more clarity. It's very grounding. It really helps me enjoy my time on Earth so much better. And it's like you just kind of take on a few assignments per zodiac season, right? So let me know, the CosmicRx, tag us if you're doing things that feel very Taurus season to you. Let's like inspire each other. And then let's go into the astrology for the week, a little bit more nitty gritty of it. So cosmic heads up. Some things to note. There's a lot of squares in the sky. What is a square? Well, in a simple way, just a little cheat code to remember, a square is when a planet is in like the same reality. So if you hear about like a lot of fixed signs in the sky, a lot of cardinal signs in the sky, if they're in a tight degree to each other and they're the non-opposite side. So it's like Taurus and Scorpio are opposite. They're sister signs, right? Libra and Aries are sister signs, opposite signs. So if we hear about this week, we have like the sun in Taurus, Mars in Leo. Those are both fixed signs, right? But they're not opposite. Alarm bells go off in your head a little bit. Think like, ooh, okay. When we have these squares of energy, it's like there is a planetary push-pull. I always think about it like a planetary arm wrestling, right? An astro arm wrestling moment, or like two titans of industry like facing off in like a boardroom negotiation. They each really want one thing, and seemingly on the surface they may be like not like not opposite's not the right word, but just coming from way different sides of a energy of a situation. And because they're both in the same modality, and in this week it's fixed signs, they're like equal forces with each other. So they're like equally as strong, and it's up to us to like kind of navigate the square. There's going to be a lot of tension. There can be a lot of friction, but there then usually is this potentiality, like kind of an explosion of energy that can really help us see something differently, make some forward motion, come up with innovative solutions, or like just learn something about ourselves. So that was my little tutorial on a square. But this week we have, and especially I think fixed squares, we've just lived through a lot of them the past few years, and there's something about them that I'm like, Ooh, I've learned from taking the field notes. They are a little intense. So the 21st, Sun square Mars, Sun in Taurus, square Mars and Leo. We are going to watch out for ego clashes, power struggles. If someone's being extra, let's not try and match, meet, or compete with that energy. Let's just detach, okay? Let's just be like, you know what? Fine, you do you, boo. You are the most powerful one here. Whatever. Because it's going to ride out something in the wave and you are actually going to come out on top, and that is true power. So similarly, on the 23rd of April, we have a Sun in Taurus, Pluto in Aquarius square. So again, we hear Taurus, Aquarius square, and I'm doing this on the YouTube. There's a square energy happening. This is drama alert. Again, big power dynamics at play. Tensions can be arising. Pluto could be bringing stuff up from the surface. Collectively, we will talk about it if astrology isn't real. But this week, politically, on the global stage, it's like, just think things can't keep getting crazier, and they do. So this week, I'm like, just watch out a little bit, okay? And in terms of personally, let's just not engage in any emotional warfare. Like, we're playing the long game. We're staying true to ourselves. And like I said in the beginning, we're minding our business. We're just minding our business and focusing on the beauty in the moment. And that's on that, okay? And on April 24th, we get the third Venus-Saturn mashup, meetup, a kissing of these two signs. Venus is the sign of pleasure. In Pisces right now, all about dreamy, ethereal, romantic, highly romantic energy, but it sometimes can be a little delulu. And Saturn, is the planet of like, no honey, no delulu, like on Earth, what's happening? Let's pay attention, like what's happening here in the 3D realm. And so there might be something that comes up that's forcing us to sort of take a real look and be really honest and be in the place of discernment around a relationship, our finances. No more illusions, delusions. If someone is not stepping up, it's okay to walk away. Clarity is queen, honey. Clarity is kindness. So thinking about that. But it also could be a day where relationships get taken more seriously. Maybe you want to like commit to a more long-term thing with your boo thing. Just noting that. And then Mars Pluto opposition on the 26th. The vibes, sense. Mars is an intense planet, out of war, very fiery, lots of forward motion, definitely be a little aggro. And then Pluto, casual, lord of the underworld. So when they oppose each other, that is, again, like two very big cosmic titans who want opposite things, and opposite energy does bring about something new, but it can also bring up things like a boiling pot feeling, right? So do not poke the bear. Choose peace. Practice self-restraint. This is all a little bit of this week. There's a cosmic workout happening, okay? There is a cosmic level of like, let's flex some of those mystical muscles we've been working on. Let's see if we've been paying attention to these practices. So I want you to really drop into the self-care. I want you to really be regulated. I want you to just, again, detach when possible. And then this guides us into just a really beautiful new moon on Sunday. So it's like, get through the week, not get through it. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to cultivate presence. And then this week, the new moon in Taurus comes to mark the beginning of a cycle, of a new cycle, especially in the Taurus season of your chart. And so this is a great time to set intentions that really want to call in like the fullness of the positive frequency of the bodacious bull. So like, do we have intentions and goals to set around pleasure, money, love, our home, our bodies? Like what are the things that keep us feeling well resourced, happy, and fulfilled, and like help us enjoying life, like I said. So, the new moon is forming a square to Mars and another to Pluto. So the things that are gonna like, I think, happen leading up to this new moon are going to really inform us. Like this tension is going to show us where we're ready for a new beginning. So let any of those frustrations show you, I'm actually like fed up with this. Okay. I'm not going to keep engaging with it, but I'm ready for something new. And use the new moon to put pen to paper of like, what are those new things you're calling in? Are we calling in better, more conscious, more reciprocal relationships? Are we calling in new opportunities to make money in a way that feels in alignment with your values? Are we calling in more beauty, more pleasure? Are we calling in a safer and more gorgeous home environment? Are we calling in the ability to spend more time doing nothing, being in pleasure, being in nature? Yes, please, to all of that. But like, kind of use the frustration of the week to inform you and be like, that's where my higher self actually wants to go over the next 6 months. Because we have a chance, as we always do with a new moon, this Taurus new moon, we have a chance to really start off a new 6 month cycle. And it's really like there are going to be some obstacles and there's going to be some things that feel spicy. But again, let's have it show us where we're ready to make those important changes. And just some ways to work with this new moon. I want you to think about, setting those intentions, setting some earthy, grounded intentions under this new moon and thinking about where you have Taurus in your chart. Look there. It could help inform you where this new beginning might be starting from. What area of your life is getting this cosmic glow up, is getting like some of the garden is being tended to in that part of your chart. And from that, the rest of the abundance will flow. So we know 1, setting earthly intentions, 2, checking your chart. 3, I want you to think about under this new moon. I want you to think about how can we declutter, simplify. There's something about Taurus that's like, Taurus is a maximalist, don't get me wrong, but Taurus is like really delights in like the simplicity of life's pleasures. And I just feel like it's easier to honor that and to be present, which is a big Taurus gift, a medicine of Taurus season, when we have less like clutter around us. Like it's just like, and then I want you to think about under this Taurus new moon, like really doing something to be in your sensuality, getting sensual, getting into your 5 senses. I love doing things that are really embodied, especially under like the new moon and full moon. And the new moon, like doing something that can help motivate this new beginning, that can feel like, okay, we have a chance to start something new. But Taurus also wants it to be realistic. Taurus wants us to show up for this. Taurus wants us to like be a part of this manifestation process through our body. So can you do something on or around the new moon, within like 3 days of the new moon, where you're really like purposefully, intentionally indulging your senses? Can you cook a beautiful meal for yourself? Can you play in your garden? If you're like me and you're in New York City or urban environment, like, can we set out some plants on a fire escape? Can we get some plants for our apartment? I just went to Trader Joe's and got some beautiful flowers for my sister's birthday. They're bringing me so much joy, right? Like, can we wear soft fabrics? Can we give ourselves a really beautiful, like, jojoba oil self massage? Like, maybe go to a beautiful, like, yin yoga class. How can we do something that really helps us root into our body? And then, similarly, and like the last thing is, I want you to think about like creating a pleasure plan or a pleasure playlist. I want you to, whatever you're manifesting under the new moon, I want you to write out a list of like, ideally, I would love to see like 28 things on this list, but if you want to start with like 7, I want you to think of like, what are the things you do to come back to your body, to come back to your pleasure? And I want you to have it there to guide you through the next 6 months. It could be something, if it's 7 things that you do like, every week. 28 things could be like a monthly plan or moon cycle plan. But the important thing is when we get like a little bit tweaked out by the world, by our energy, or we get drained, or we get like discouraged, or whatever it is, like disassociated, deflated, it's hard to remember what brings us pleasure. It's hard to come back there because we're like just so out of it. We're on such a maybe dopamine withdrawal that we don't even know. So I love to have this like break glass in case of emergency pleasure plan, pleasure playlist right at our disposal. So I could just be like, life, what's life? Why, what is this so hard? And then just look at your phone and be like, all right, like, listen to your favorite comedy podcast and go for a walk. Okay. Plan a date with your sister. Okay. Take Jordy to the park and like, let's like feed the ducks, or like whatever it is, make yourself a beautiful cup of something in your favorite mug. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It could be whatever it is that makes you feel good. And preferably something you can do as quickly as possible, just to help you again, like drop into the body, drop into the pleasure. Joy is an act of resistance, right? Our pleasure is our power. We're going to need it now more than ever. So my cosmic angels, that is your astro weather. Those are your cosmic RXs for the new moon in Taurus. I hope this can kind of guide you this week in a way that serves you, that helps align you with your highest and hottest self. Let Taurus season hold you like a weighted blanket. Definitely check out In the Cosmic Zone if you haven't yet, the book. Definitely join the CosmicRx community if you haven't. I have bonus information podcasts for your rising sign, for like what this new moon means for you in particular. And like I said, we are gathering for a live manifestation ceremony. And yeah, just don't forget to check out If Astrology Isn't Real. Lots of stuff coming your way. We're staying busy, but also blessed and grounded and out of the bullshit. So for you, I invite you to stay grounded, stay in your glow, stay cosmic, baby. I am sending you big ass blessings under this Taurus new moon for that big fat juicy checks, hot fulfilling, toe curling sex, because could that be more Taurus energy? So until next week, mwah. Bye everybody. Do you love getting your Cosmic RX for the week here and want more? Make sure to sign up for our premium subscription so you can get exclusive access to bonus podcast episodes, all of my astrology info for the month ahead, and live new and full moon calls to help you manifest your dream life with an intentional international community of other cosmic baddies. Sign up through our link in show notes.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you want to know more about CosmicRx, head on over to thecosmicrx.com. And if you really love this show, I'd love it if you left a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. I super love hearing from you and reading your reviews. All right, you cosmic baddie, tune in next week. And until then, remember, love yourself fully, work your magic, and take no shit.